Diddy thought he could keep a low profile forever, but Nancy Grace just blew the lid off it. She revealed exactly what he was wearing, where he went, and just how strange this whole situation really is. We're talking full disguises, including outfits that covered him head to toe, like traditional Muslim women's clothing and burqa-style outfits similar to what Michael Jackson used to wear. Things took an even stranger turn when a man known as the Punisher, reportedly hired as an escort, found himself involved in something far more disturbing than he expected. And it didn't stop there. When federal agents raided Diddy's mansion, they didn't just find unusual outfits and party supplies. Reports say they uncovered drugs, weapons, and even ecstasy pills shaped like former President Obama. This isn't just a celebrity scandal anymore. It's turning into a major takedown. What was once whispered about is now making headlines, and it's only getting more intense from here.
A bombshell in the courtroom. A witness describing Sean Combs, aka Diddy, fully from the neck down, disguising his face.
Just a case of someone wearing a strange costume. These were full disguises, including traditional Muslim women's clothing and burkas, reportedly inspired by Michael Jackson. And it gets even more surprising. A male escort who goes by the name The Punisher is now speaking out, and the details he's sharing are raising serious eyebrows. As strange as it sounds, during one of these events, authorities even found ecstasy, pills shaped like President Obama. Apparently, Diddy had a habit of wearing these disguises regularly, not just for parties. Some witnesses say they saw him completely naked from the neck down, but from the neck up, he was fully dressed in a woman's head covering. That's not just unusual. It's something right out of a movie. Even Diddy's former PR rep, Rob Shooter, confirmed he had a thing for going undercover. Hats, dark glasses, fake beards, and mustaches. It was all part of his routine. He was trying to move in silence, much like his idol, Michael Jackson, who also used burqas to stay hidden in public. But the story takes a stranger turn. That same escort, the Punisher, says he was told he'd be entertaining at a bachelorette party. Instead, he walked into what he described as a personal show, where a woman in disguise told him her husband would be watching. According to him, this wasn't a one-time thing. He says he attended between 8 to 12 of these events from 2012 to 2016, and it didn't stop at just showing up. Both the Punisher and another escort said they experienced performance issues during these encounters, with one even blaming it directly on Diddy and Cassie's behavior. Imagine having to explain that at a doctor's visit.
So funny, the guy's name is The Punisher, but here's what's sad. He has a self-help book called The Freezer Meat, and Diddy's lawyer goes, what does that mean, the freezer meat? He goes, you want your meat as hard as it is when it's frozen, because this guy apparently suffered from ED, look it up, not because of the diddler he did a little bit before, but especially since Diddler had to watch and sit in the corner and diddle-daddly doodles, the guy lost it, man.
But the authorities weren't stopping at just gathering evidence. About 190 federal agents showed up at Diddy's Miami mansion in full force, like they were raiding a high-level criminal operation. This wasn't a basic knock on the door. They surrounded the home, by land and by water, clearly expecting serious resistance. 6 people were inside the mansion, and every single one of them ended up in handcuffs. No one walked away without being questioned that day.
Morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs. His lawyer said Combs had come to New York 2 weeks earlier with the intention of turning himself in. He did not expect the agents to be waiting at his hotel last Monday night.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him.
And what agents found inside, that's where things went from strange to deeply troubling. They recovered 2 AR-15 rifles with the serial numbers scratched off, plus loaded magazines ready to fire. That alone would raise alarms. But it didn't stop there. Scattered around were women's platform heels, Balenciaga boots with hidden cell phones inside, and a Gucci bag with a rolled-up $100 bill. A common tool used with drugs. Speaking. Of which they also found several substances, including cocaine, ketamine, and Xanax, enough to suggest these weren't small-time recreational drugs, but part of something much larger and more organized. Then came a discovery in the bathroom that left many stunned. A massive stash of Air Baby oil and 31 bottles of Astroglide as a type of lubricant. Investigators are still trying to understand what kind of activities called for that amount. Oh, and there were also 2 rubber duckies in there, for reasons nobody can quite explain. But perhaps the most jaw-dropping item? Ecstasy pills, shaped like former President Obama. That detail took things to a whole new level of bizarre and disturbing. And it's not just about what was found. Sources say investigators showed a sealed photograph feed to attorneys behind closed doors. With all cameras turned off, what was in that image hasn't been revealed. But whatever it was clearly shook the room. Legal expert Eric Faddis explained what's happening here. Diddy isn't just facing one charge. He's being investigated under RICO laws, which are designed to take down organized criminal enterprises. It means prosecutors believe there's a pattern of crimes over time, possibly involving multiple people and operations across state lines. In short, they're not just looking at isolated incidents, they're building a case that could span years of alleged illegal activity.
What is the RICO Act, and how does it relate to racketeering? If you've ever wondered about the laws that combat organized crime, you're probably curious about the RICO Act. So let's break it down and see how it relates to racketeering. The RICO Act, or the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, is a federal law passed in 1970 to tackle organized crime. It was signed into law by President Richard M. Nixon with the primary goal of targeting mafia bosses and other leaders of large criminal groups.
The most serious charge Diddy's facing? Sex trafficking. And that's not something you just walk away from with a slap on the wrist. And now, a former assistant named David James is testifying that Diddy told him to file a fake police report. According to James, Diddy wanted him to lie and say that a female chef who was allegedly attacked by Diddy was actually the one who started it. That's not just shady, it's witness tampering and filing. A false report, both serious offenses. It raises even more questions about how far Diddy might have gone to cover things up.
Asked James to go to the police and file a report claiming that the chef had been the aggressor. James said that he felt he didn't want to file a false statement with the police. Instead, he just drove around for a while and came back and told Combs that he had done it.
For years, Diddy worked hard to protect his image. His former PR rep said Diddy was obsessed with crafting this powerful, untouchable king persona, using the media to shape every story and stay in control. But now, reality is catching up fast. Even Cassie's name keeps coming up in the investigation, showing just how deeply this case is connected to Diddy's personal life. These aren't just business issues. They're tied to people he was close to. It's a complicated situation that keeps getting messier by the day. So what do you think? Is this justice finally catching up to him, or is there more to the story than we're being told? Let us know in the comments and make sure to, subscribe. Because when it comes to celebrity scandals, this one's not slowing down anytime soon.